Right, Shalawam, Shalawam. All right, we're gonna begin in a moment. First and foremost, facing the east, giving all praises, glory, and honor be to the Most High and His Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the Father's true name. Yahawashi equals He saves, He delivers. That's the Son's true name. And Rakakwadash is how you say the Spirit that is holy. Right, or Holy Spirit. This is all in the Lashawan Kodash, the holy language, the holy tongue. All right, or also known as the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew. Okay, what we call upon when we call upon our power. Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham Kadash. We don't shorten it. We don't use no abbreviations. We give all the glory, honor, and power to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, you have to learn to respect the Father and the Son, right? And those are the names which we must come in when we baptize, which we teach in. We're teaching, okay? Second of all, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yeramiah Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham Kadash. This will be a health live. All right, we'll go through, some stuff I have prepared and any issues health-wise that anybody has, you can ask in the comments. And, through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi, I'll try to assist you, all right, in the knowledge that we've been given. Okay, so got on the screen Dr. Bobby Price. If you don't know this individual, you need to get familiar. All right, brother, constantly bringing out information on the body, on the health, things of that nature. And I know he knows about the truth. I've never heard him say the true name, but I know he knows about the truth, because let me go to one of his right here.
Peace and
look at that in the background. Okay, that brother know about the truth, man. He knows something. Okay, he got one of them things up in there. They're beautiful. I love to see that. All right. He traveled the world, things of that nature. And, he gives reverence to God. Believe the brother may be, 1/3 or whatever it may be. All right. But the Most High has given these individuals, such as Yaki Awakening, these individuals, the ability to know about this health. But, hey, they got to come to the right names. And they got to come in the right vibration. And that's more important than, having these titles and things of that nature. But this is a good video. What this brother is about to go into is entitled, Why I Stopped Wearing Deodorant. You won't believe this. Now, before I go into it, I'm going to first go to Sirach 37. And I know off rip, that sounds crazy. You like, why you stop wearing deodorant? It sounds crazy, right? Because in your mind, that's what you've been accustomed to your whole life, is deodorant. Because what have you also been accustomed to your whole life? Eating hella meat, eating hella stuff that's toxic to your body, eating all these starches and sugar and dairy, all these products. When they come out of your body, they stink. Okay? And you overeat it. You overindulge. You know, what is your armpits in the first place? Before I get this scripture, let's get that. What is your armpits? Right? Armpits are sensitive, moisture-rich areas where your arms connect to your shoulders because they contain dense concentrations of sweat glands and lymph nodes. They require targeted care to manage odor, prevent skin irritation, and maintain a healthy skin microbiome. So what are glands? All right, let's keep that up and let's go deeper into this. Glands are specialized organs or tissues that produce and release essential substances. They are the body's control and messaging centers and fall into two primary categories: endocrine glands, right, and exocrine glands. Now, endocrine glands, these glands produce hormones and release them directly into the bloodstream to regulate distant organs and bodily functions like metabolism, growth, and reproduction. Right? So they can help you lose weight, gain weight. They can help you feel good, feel bad. They can help you grow or be short. Okay? And then you got different glands in those. And these right here, if you really study into these, you'll hear your doctors talk about, you got thyroid problems. It's because of your thyroid gland, right? Pituitary gland, pituitary gland, often called the master gland. It controls other endocrine glands. The thyroid gland, located in the neck, it manages how your body uses energy or your metabolism. Adrenal glands, once your adrenal system is gone, your adrenal glands is gone, then what? You get diabetes. All right? Your adrenals, this stuff is connected along with your pancreas. That can lead to diabetes. Located on top of the kidneys, they produce stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Cortisol connects to what? Stress. Adrenaline connects to stress. So if these glands are off balance, then you're going to be stressed the hell out. All right? You're going to have more anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Exocrine glands, this is the other system. These glands produce substances that are released through ducts or openings either to the outside of the body or into external cavities. Sweat glands, like your armpits, regulate body temperature. Salivary glands aid in chewing and digestion. Mammary glands produce milk in females. Okay? So your body, man, you got to understand it's a factory. It's a lot of working that's going on in your body. And it's a lot that you have to keep in balance. Okay? Third one, lymph glands, immune system. While technically part of the lymphatic system, and he's going to talk about this when we get into it. Lymph nodes or glands are bean-shaped filters scattered throughout your body that house white blood cells to fight infections. They often swell when you are sick. Next time you get sick, all right, check your neck. You know what I'm saying? And that definitely happened to me when I get sick. My lymph nodes swell up. All right. Now we went through that a little bit, and let's go back. Let's go to Sirach 37, around 25. All right. Matter of fact, let's go up. 23. Hold up, man. Hey, be quiet. Or you can go in the front room. You can keep humming in the front room. That boy love humming, man. And I can't stop the humming because look, humming is extremely important for the body. Kids be humming and singing and all of that. It's annoying though. I'm doing my lesson. All I hear in the background is him humming. But if you look into humming and what humming does to your body, man, I might touch on it later, but humming, it does something in your body that nothing else can do, right? So you have just knowing how to use your body, okay, is something that the Edomites are never gonna teach you about, okay? Matter of fact, let's read the scripture, and then I'm gonna touch on what humming does to your body. And I saw some comments. Shalawam to the brother in the cough. Block glands trap fluids, causing painful swelling and a high risk of infection. Exactly. And deodorant does that. Okay. Deodorant, makeup. This is why you women, a lot of women, you got all these bumps, and you have to wear continuous makeup. Because you're blocking your glands, you're blocking sweat. So what is sweat? What is sweat at the bottom of it? What is sweat? It's trash. It's waste. That's all it is. It's waste coming out of your body, leaving your body. That's what sweat is. Okay? When waste can't get out of your body, what happens to your body? Bumps, pimples, all these different type of bumps. What happens when you're a kid, when you're in your teenage years, you're going through puberty, your hormones is going crazy, and you're getting all these damn pupils because your hormones is going crazy, and all that waste is building up. So you have to learn that if you're not getting these waste out, then you're going to have hella bumps upon your body. This is why you can look at somebody's face and tell if they eating properly and correctly, depending on how many bumps you got on your face. So you can talk all that healthy shit, but it's going to show. All right? If you really fasting and doing what you're supposed to do. So this is Barak 37:23. A wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not. The correct ways is going to continue and be perpetual. Meaning, as the father of your household, your kids are going to be, you're going to teach them the correct ways. How you going to be eating, you're going to be eating salad and all of this, but you giving your kids pepperoni pizza. No, man, that don't add up. All right? So the correct ways that you live by is going to trickle down to your kids and your wife, your spouse, And if your family members are wise enough to listen to you, it'll trickle down to them. Like my mama asked me a simple question today. She said she got trouble falling asleep. I just told her, hey, black cherries, cherry juice, or just eat some cherries about 2 hours before you go to sleep. And let that's going to flow in your body, or 3 hours before you go to sleep, which is best. You want to eat, 3 hours before you go to sleep. No more than that. So let that get in your bloodstream, and that's going to put you in a sense of sleep, man. The melatonin of it is going to help you go to sleep, especially if you got enough sunlight throughout the day. So cherry juice or eating some black cherries, right, will help you to go to sleep. So a wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not. This knowledge, this truth that we have, it will never fail. It is the truth. The lies that Esau gives you will fail, always. It might last for a while. Like you got people out here still eating Gerber. Their babies are still eating Gerber and, and taking all these magazines. But look at the CV magazine, the CVAC. What happened? That lie is exposed now. Where all the CEOs and companies and dudes out there, they telling you that, yeah, this was a planned pandemic. It was planned. It was set up. So that lie was exposed, and the truth of building your immune system, walking correctly, fasting, all of that is out. So knowledge shall be increased. Verse 24, a wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all they that see him shall count him happy. All right? So, because we have this truth. Now, does that mean right now? Nah, but ultimately, okay? And we are happy in a sense. As the scripture states, Even being sorrowful, we rejoice. Let's get that. All right. This is 2 Corinthians 6:10. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. As poor, yet making many rich. As having nothing, and yet possessing all things. Okay, so that right there, letting you know that, yeah, we may be in a house of mourning, but we're rejoicing because what? Because this place is beginning to collapse. This place is falling, and we have that understanding. As poor, but we're making many rich. Every brother that you done had the pleasure of giving this truth to, and he took it, you made him rich, because he's gonna do nothing but, if he continues to invest his time, he's going to continue to grow his treasures, which are up in heaven. And that was by him coming, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, use you to go forth to give him that light. And then he took it upon himself to keep going. Okay? So we lead you to water and you got to drink. And it's up upon you how much you want to drink. Right? You know, so, hey, I suggest you drink as much as you can right now. Okay, because it's about to come a time where they're trying to take the water away. And that's called the famine of the word. So if you need to drink right now, man. All right. Verse 24 again. A wise man shall be filled with blessings, and all they that see him shall count him happy. The days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. Because what's our conclusion? Ultimately, we're going to live forever. And the heathens are going to be numbered. They can live 90 years, 80 years, 100 years. In the kingdom, most likely, they live correctly and properly. They'll live to 100 years. All right? Because it's going to be a better way of life. Air quality is going to be better. The food is going to be better, etc., etc. You know, so it'll be regular for them to live to 100, because righteousness is upon the earth. So life is back upon the earth. They won't live forever like we live forever, but they'll have a healthier lifespan. And what will be gone for the most part? Crime. All right? If they want to act up, they can get smacked up. Okay? But our days are innumerable. You're not going to be able to number our days. It's forever. It's infinite. It's everlasting. Verse 26, a wise man shall inherit glory among his people, and his name shall be perpetual. Think about all the seeds you're going to have. Your name is going to continue. The 144,000 are going to be what you know is like patriarchs, where they're the head of Israel. They're the head. And your seed is just, you're going to have millions of seeds. As the scripture says, as the blade of the grass, as the stars in the sky. So, but you're going to be that head. And all these 2/3 babies, which are going to be in their right mind now, they're going to be under you. All right, that's Pops. He stood boldly and stood for the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and he went up into a chariot. You know, he made it through. Okay, understanding reincarnation, regeneration. So your name through your kids is going to be perpetual, and you're going to live forever, and they're going to live forever. So you see how Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is starting houses over. Like he's wiping 2/3 households out, and he's starting everything through the righteous of his nation. So it's only really going to be 144,000 houses. And then you got 1/3 men that's going to have their houses as well. Okay. So however many houses that be, because that's going to be a lot, right? Those are going to be the houses of Israel, right? A 2/3 household will not be remembered. And we ain't going to be talking about no damn Jay-Z, what's his name, Sean Carter or Sean Combs, P. Diddy. Their houses is going to be discontinued. And they're going to have to come under your house. as them coming back in the kingdom. So going back to a rank and file, it's a ranking system. All right, the first shall be last, the last shall be first. Verse 27, my son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. You're analyzing, you're reading, you're studying, you're growing, you're learning what to eat, you're learning what not to eat. And that's in every sense of the word. All right, pertaining to doctrine, pertaining to understanding, pertaining to what you want to do. All right, hey, I find it in myself no more. It's no point to go back and forth with anybody. Some brothers may dibble and dabble in it. I don't feel it. And that I'm looking at my life. Does that benefit me? No, it doesn't. We have the truth. Okay? You do your own thing. You run your platform how you want to run it. You know what I'm saying? So once again, my son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. I don't want to be around toxicity. I don't want to be around drama. I don't want to be around traumatic events and stuff that's not beneficial in that sense for me. So I'm around the brotherhood. I'm at home, Now, hey, you got family members and things of that nature. They may take it as you being high-minded or whatever, just because you don't want to hang around them when they're indulging in all this wickedness. Okay? They're caught up in the world. They're in myrrh. Well, let them think and feel however they want to feel. All right? But you're proving your soul in your life, and you're seeing what is evil for it, and you're giving not yourself unto it. Verse 28, for all things are not profitable for all men, neither hath every soul pleasure in everything. So everybody's not going to like the same stuff, man. I ain't knocking you because you watch NBA or NFL or UFC or whatever. I may not have a taste for that. Or I might have a taste for it, and you might not have it. You might not like watching NBA or NFL or whatever. Even though all the shit rigged, you may not like it though. All right? Your spirit may be different. So, brothers have their own lives. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that. All right? We all men, and we ain't robots. That's the thing what Esau is trying to make everybody. He's trying to put everybody on the same, and have everybody being robots and being in a trend, everybody doing the same thing. Okay? We were made with salt. We were made with seasoning, with flavor. All right? Now that trickles back to the lesson, being a health live, because when you eat, you want to eat and you want to have a diverse set of food. You want to eat, you want to have a little bit of greens on your plate. You want to have some purple, like some purple cabbage, some purple onions. All right. You want to have some red, like some beets, some tomatoes. All right. Something yellow, squash, banana, You want to have a diverse set of foods. Because what? That's going to get you all these different type of nutrients, all these different type of vitamins that you need to be putting in your body. That doesn't mean you eat 3 times a day. No, that means when you do eat that one meal, you make that a meal that's worth it. All right, you putting time and effort into that. You cooking this, you cooking this, you cooking. You remember how grandma used to do it, or mama used to do it? She would cook, had like four different. You had a meat, then you had 3 different sides. All right, that's diversity. Beans. You can get protein from the beans. You could do all this different type of stuff. So, hey, when I be in the kitchen, man, I'm getting creative. I'm having fun with it. I love to be up in there. Right? So, have fun with it, man. As a man, you should know how to cook, bro. Stop relying upon your woman just to cook. No, we cook the best. The women don't want to hear. We cook the best, man. Okay? At the end of the day. Verse 29, be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon the meats. So that's going back to having a balance. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. By sufferting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. You eating meat every single day, that's not going to work out for you. All right? Ultimately, your body is going to get backed up, and your stomach, the acids in your stomach is going to be depleted if you just constantly eating meat over and over and over. You're not a lion. You're not a tiger. You're not a panther. You're not a mountain lion or nothing like that. You're not designed to eat meat every single day. You don't have the type of acid in your stomach that's going to be able to break that food down over and over. I mean, you can, but it's ultimately going to lead to sickness. It's ultimately going to lead to what? Inflammation. All right? A lot of mucus and sickness. Right? Now let's go back. Where we at? Right here. All right, I'm going to let some of this play. Fair use, fair use. All right, and I'm going to stop it when need be and talk on it.
I recently did an interview with Bill Bellamy on his podcast, Top Billin'. And there's a clip in the video that went viral. He's asking me what deodorant do I wear. And I'm telling him I don't wear deodorant. I haven't worn deodorant in over 8 years. And he's stunned. And you can see him in the video. He's like, well, you don't stink? And I explained to him in the video, why is it I haven't worn deodorant? I mean, even when I go work out, I still don't wear deodorant. And he asked if I stink. And I was like, no. And let me explain why, okay? And that's what we're going to jump into today. I'm going to explain why, but also teach you a little bit about the lymphatic system, okay? Which is the waste management system in our bodies. And it's so important we understand what that is, because most people probably have never heard of it. Or if you have, you don't really know what it does and how important it is to your overall health. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. All right. So as I was explaining to him in the video, I live a very cleansing lifestyle. My food choices, the choices that I choose in foods, quite often, I'm not choosing them with just my taste buds. And many people, when it comes to selecting their food choices, the primary driver of what they use to decide what they're going to eat is how it's going to taste, okay? And with me, it's a little bit different. So I try to eat a cleansing diet versus a clogging diet. And if you look at the standard American diet, it is a clogging diet. It clogs you up. It not only clogs up your digestive tract, it clogs up your skin pores, it clogs up your liver, your kidneys, all of the elimination organs in the body, okay? So that's really important. So the first thing is I live a cleansing lifestyle, okay? Not only with the food choices, but also I do cleanses. And I've done a video before in the past, cleansing versus detoxing. Make sure you go check that video out. So I won't dive into that, but.
All right, let's stop it right there. So, as he said, he doesn't choose his foods based upon how they taste, but more so what they do. And that's purpose. Living with a purpose. Holding yourself accountable. You're eating this, okay? This is Dr. Bobby Price. Dr. Bobby Price. Elder Apostle Tahar been playing his videos sometimes from time to time. All right? Because he got pretty good information. So, and I watch the dude like every day, damn near. You know, he's always going to give you a nugget. All right. So, furthermore, it's putting that flesh into subjection. Okay. Controlling your taste buds, which, I mean, you're not taste buds, but controlling your parasites, man. You know, and that's why you got to detox, because you got too many parasites in you. They can make you more what? They can make you more promiscuous. All right. They can make you more sexual. Okay. They can control your actions. They can make you more angry. Okay. They can make you lash out, emotional outbursts, these type of things. That's why you need to detox to flush out these things, because parasites are nothing more than demons, basically, running through your body. And then keep this in mind. We're what? We're 75% water. Okay. So you got the parasites that's trying to control you. And then you have the moon system, where a full moon, right, that causes individuals to be more violent, sexual, and all these different type of things. More intercourse happens on a full moon than a new moon. Right? You know, and it shouldn't happen at all because them Shabbos. You know what I'm saying? But more violence and stuff like that happens on a full moon. Because what does the moon do to the water? Tides. Right? It changes your body. Your body is water. This is why you got to look at it like music. This is why Esau loves to manipulate Jake with music. You know? Yeah, it's a rest day. Exactly. Because that's a day of heightened heavy wickedness for the heathens. You know? So Esau loves to attack Jake with music because music, it alters frequencies. It messes with, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up that video. All right. How does music affect water? Classical music affects water in a very good way, but this music that we listen to today, this shit is trash. Okay. Let me see. It's this actually that's kind of a good one. But it's an exact one where they go into it. Right here, let's play this.
Here's a tuning fork of 512 Hz. When struck and placed in water, it creates only light ripples that gently spread across the surface. Now watch the 2 at 56 Hz fork. Its slower but stronger vibrations make the water jump and splash with greater force, showing powerful low-frequency waves. Finally, the 320 Hz fork is struck. It produces both splashing and rippling together, clearly demonstrating how different frequencies create different patterns of vibration in water.
So, keeping that in mind, how these frequencies affect your body, and music is nothing but frequencies. Going back to King David playing the harp, and it's causing the demon, the evil spirit, to leave King Saul, right? When David played the harp. So Esau, what? He searches out all this wickedness. He knows how to control and manipulate your frequency. He can put you in a trance from the trap music, from all this BS that, yeah, the 808. Exactly. We talked about that a lot, you know. Who really brought the 808 out and made it popular? Kanye West. Niggas thinking this dude is whatever. No, man, this dude brought most wickedness, man. Because what you are as an artist, and not all artists, but when you're working with Esau, you're basically a prophet on the left-hand side. You're a false prophet. And you're working with left-handed energy if you're manipulating and using it that way. Right? That's why I don't try to mess with 808s as a lot of times when I'm making music. You know, I try to dive away from that because I know the effects that it has on individuals. Right? And the effects that it has on the water inside of them. You know? So keep that in mind, that you are controlled a lot by your parasites, which you need to cleanse those out. And you are controlled by music, by entertainment, by frequencies. You watch a scary movie and it has that music that makes it scary. You take away that music, it's no longer scary. It's just Jason. It's just a dude walking around in a mask with a knife. Hey, this nigga looks stupid. But you put that music behind it. You know what I'm saying? You know? So pay attention to these little things, man. All right? Yeah, warlocks. And we pushing that good spell. We'll use music sometimes. I often use running water. Or I use birds chirping because what do that do to your soul? What does that do to your spirit? What does that do to your waters? That relaxes you. You know? So I wake up, I have my kids meditate by playing birds. Birds relaxes you. It heals you. That's good natural frequencies that heal you and relax your waters. You want to wake up to relaxation. You don't want to wake up to chaos. I'm not about to wake up and play some damn, I don't play this shit at all, but I'm not about to wake up and play some damn NBA Youngboy. Hell nah, man. You know? So, you know, just bringing that point out, all right, that parasites is something that's fucking with us, and vibrations, music, entertainment, okay, these can be used as spells, as ways and tactics that Esau uses against us, man. All right. So let's keep it going. Let's go back to the brother, you know. So another point that he said was he eats off of the purpose of the food, not off of how it tastes. And that's something that you got to fight. Because yeah, I know it may taste good, blah blah blah, whatever. Bro, I cooked some cabbage the other day, and you can hook it up, you know, if you know how to cook. You get some red pepper flakes, you get some red pepper, you get some red onions, or you get whatever type of onion you want. Throw that up in there. You put a little bit of water in the pot. You let it boil, sizzle. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fire, and it's still healthy for you. So vegetables and all that type, it can taste good too. You got to know how to cook, you know, and the more you cook, the better you'll get at it. All right, so let's keep it going.
Consistently to make sure I'm constantly preventing waste from coming into my body, okay? And getting rid of that surface level waste. I'm also detoxing consistently too. I detox every 3 or 4 months. I do a group detox with my full body herbal detox with an entire group. Sometimes we have 300 or 400 people in there. And inside of this group, which we're finishing up now, this is the last week of it. Inside of that group, you know, we have people from all walks of life. And we're detoxing. We're using my herbal detox that's on my website. We're also eating a very, very cleansing diet. So I give them a meal plan. I give them a shopping list, recipes, all of these kind of things inside of this group detox. And when they're in there, they're just eating how I eat during my detox, cleansing, detoxing. It is essentially like doing an oil change, changing the transmission fluid, the brakes, the tires, the spark plugs, the wires on our bodies. Okay, so we have all of these processes like that for maintenance for our cars, but we have none of those processes like that for our human bodies. This is why waste accumulates in our bodies, but this is also why our bodies wear down so quickly. This is why people who are in their 50s look like people who are in their 70s and 80s. This is
all right. Let's touch on that. Okay, detoxing. All right. Now, detox is not a fast. So, stated this maybe a couple lessons ago. A detox is not a fast. A detox is a detox. A fast is a fast. What's the difference? On a detox, you do eat. Okay, but you're eating purposefully to get certain things up out of your body. All right. Now, on a fast, you don't eat no water. You don't eat no food. You don't drink no water. Okay, for 24 hours and however long you want to go. You know, but after 24 hours, hey, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But you can go to 48. You can go however long you want to continue. You know, but on a detox, and that's why I'm making a little list. Detox, man. Let's make these points. You do eat to cleanse out. All right. Fast. No drinking or eating for 24 hours. And this is a mistake that many make. When you first start the fast, let's actually go to the internet on this. All right, let's come back. How long does it take food to digest? The entire digestive process takes anywhere from 24 to 74 hours. The timeline varies significantly depending on the type of food consumed, your metabolism, and hydration. The stomach, 2 to 4 hours, right? Food is broken down by stomach acids. Liquids and simple sugars pass through quickly in about 30 to 60 minutes. Proteins and carbohydrates take roughly 1 to 2 hours, right? Fatty, dense foods, fats slow down stomach emptying, keeping food in the stomach for 4 to 6 hours. So me, myself, when I start a fast, I like to give myself a leeway of like 6 hours or 8 hours before I really consider that fast to be going. So let's say I eat, the last time I ate was at 6. Then I'm really going to consider that fast to be started at 12 because I know my body is still digesting. So I won't consider that fast to be done until the next day at midnight, the next day at 12, because that's a total 24 hours because your food had to digest, right? Now, going back to the point I said with the black cherries and the cherry juice, as it says, liquids and simple sugars like fruits pass through quickly in about 30 to 60 minutes. So if you eat the cherries 2 hours or 3 hours before bed, then what? It's going to be in your bloodstream. It's going to be flowing through you, and it's going to make you sleepy when you begin to lay down. So you got to eat with that understanding. You know how it takes a while for something to kick in. You know, we're not moving in haste. We're not. That's what medicine and all that BS does. Tylenol, Advil. That's what Esau. That's how he tries to basically program you to expect automatic, instant gratification. Or automatic cure, automatic treatment. It's never a cure, but you take this, and it's gonna be automatic. Boom, boom, boom. When that's not how life is, bro. That's destroying your dopamine. That's destroying a sense of earning something. That's destroying your reward system in your body, bro. Okay? Yeah, he pushes impatience. You know? This is why I'm telling you, sit with yourself, relax, take some time, and understand your flaws, understand life. Look at how this is affecting you. Look at, you need to cut this off. You need to start doing this more, etc., etc. Tell yourself, talk to yourself, build them truths. All right? So, you know, just understanding it takes the stomach basically 2 to 4 hours or up to 6 hours. If you eat a steak before you fast, bro, you tripping. That's gonna take your body about 8 hours to process that, man. When you start a fast, you should eat like some soup or some fruit or some vegetables. Vegetables are to what? To purge out the body. Salads, they're to purge out the body. Fruits are to wash out, to push out, to cleanse out, like watermelon, like melons, like honeydew, like cantaloupe, etc., etc. They're to go through and wash out and push out. So think about greens. They latch on and they pull. Greens pull, fruits push. Greens pull, fruits push. All right? Those two things are vital before fast, or soups. You know, you don't want to eat nothing heavy before a fast. And you don't want to eat nothing heavy after a fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy, coconut milk, coconut water, lemongrass soup. Exactly. Coconut water. I tell you, I drank some coconut water, bro. I had to go to camp in Victorville. I drank some coconut water. And camp is about an hour away. About like an hour and 10 minutes away, right? Man, I had to poop, man. I had to stop at the gas station. Cause I was not about to be able to stand at camp for 3 hours with what was in my stomach. Cause that damn coconut water, bro. That shit fucked me up. You understand? So coconut water is good to get your digestive system going and floating. All right. And what do I mean by greens pulling is exactly that. Greens are going to go through your body and pull out waste. They're going to go through your body and pull waste. They're going to pull bad stuff in your body. Let's look into, I want to keep this up, but let's look into spinach. Let's look into cilantro. Okay. Just simple looks. Spinach benefits. Spinach is a highly nutrient-dense, low-calorie superfood. It is packed with essential vitamins A, C, and K, and minerals, iron, magnesium, and potassium that support bone health, immune function, and cardiovascular health. So it's going to cleanse. It's going to help to cleanse the blood. It's going to help to pull out, and it's going to strengthen your bones. That's why your grandma or your mama was always telling you, eat your greens, eat your cabbage, eat your collard greens, eat these. You need your greens to grow strong. Remember the green giant, right? Heart health. High amounts of dietary nitrates and potassium help relax blood vessels, promote healthy circulation, and lower blood pressure. What raises blood pressure? Stress, cortisone levels, adrenal glands being off balance. So spinach, greens like that, these things are going to lower these things because they're pulling these toxins up out of your body that's causing all that to happen. What's something you going to eat that's going to raise your cortisone levels, man? All these starches, all this dairy, all the sugars, because that's going to mess up your blood pressure. Glucose, sugars, bad sugars, artificial sugars goes in and clogs the arteries. And it's going to make your heart pump harder, and it's going to make blood, it's going to be harder for your blood to get through. You know? So you want to eat some spinach or some greens in general to come through and pull that stuff out of your arteries, out of your body, and get a lot of that waste out of your body, man. And push it out through your waste, your pooping, your piss, you know what I'm saying? Your urine. All right. It supports your vision. It supports your brain. Regular consumption is linked to better cognitive skills and can help slow age-related memory decline. Right? Because it's what? It's pulling. And that's why I want to go to cilantro next. Because it pulls heavy metals up out of your body. Exactly. Popeye was not lying. You know, Popeye the Sailor Man, he wasn't lying. So cilantro, spinach, these type of things, they pull metal out of your body. Now, what are the metals linked to? Autism, Down syndrome, Alzheimer's. That's what heavy metals do in your body. Okay? They mess up your brain function. They the reason why you can't remember stuff. And it leads to them affecting you more so in your old age. So you need to have a balanced diet and eat your greens first. Okay? So they can go through and purge out and cleanse out. You want to eat the greens first. Bone strength, loaded with vitamin K, which plays a vital role in maintaining strong bones and preventing fractures. Digestion. Now, let's talk about the bone strength real quick. In the hospital, they try to get your baby, when you have a baby, they try to get your baby vitamin K shot. All right? That's not it. Because the colostrum milk that your wife produces when the baby first comes out, that's loaded with vitamin K. That's all the baby needs. You understand? So you don't have to go and give no vitamin K shot. That's going to help her bones grow strong. And furthermore, as the milk develops and the baby continues to breastfeed, all right, she's going to have strong bones. She's going to have great organs because the milk is designed to do that. That's how the Most High created it. Okay? Digestion. The dietary fiber and plant compounds promote a healthy gut microbiome, and help prevent constipation. Because like we telling the brother right now, it's pulling. So greens are going to pull and get all that damn waste up out of your body. And then fruits are going to flush. So the greens are latching on and pulling all the trash. And then it's like you're using the fruits to come through and wash it, to push it. That's why I said, eat the greens first. You want to eat the greens first, and then you want to come through with some watermelon or some honeydew melon or some cantaloupe or some grapes or some cherries or whatever, and flush it to further push it out. What do you do in your household? This is just like what you do in your house. You sweep. You sweep first, and then you mop. So you pull and you gather up, and then you wash. Unless you up in here mopping before you sweep, that's stupid. Who does that? Who mops before they sweep, man? You know? Who mops before they sweep? Anybody? We got 5 people in here. Anybody mop before they sweep? You know what I'm saying? That's foolishness. So you pull and then you push. You gather together and then you wash. You know? Bro say, I've been eating a lot of fruit, but no veggies. For real, I eat a lot of meat and starches. That may be why you angry a lot. I love you, but you angry a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because, that's what meat and starches does. Okay? That's why we got to be balanced. So I would say implement some greens in your vegetables. And, bro, you can hook greens up, man. You can get some broccoli, get some spinach, get whatever, some celery. You can cook it. You know, cook it a little bit. Put some oil on it. Not oil, but some butter. Or you can put a little avocado oil, whatever. And you can hook it up. You can hook greens up. You can hook vegetables up. Okay? You can hook it up and make it taste good. I promise you. All right? Stop looking at vegetables like they nasty. It's because you don't know how to cook. You can make vegetables taste fire. You know what I'm saying? So that's spinach. I'm going to hit cilantro and then we're going to get back to the video. Cilantro is a nutrient-dense, flavorful herb packed with antioxidants, vitamin A, C, and K. That's the same thing that was in spinach. Vitamin A, C, and K. And dietary fiber. You don't poop unless you have fiber. Fiber pushes your digestive system. It helps push out. So what did I say? Vegetables pull, fruits push. So vegetables and a lot of fruits are loaded with fiber, but vegetables are loaded with a lot of fiber because they're pulling and they're helping to get the waste out of your body, man. You know? That brother said, I tried to eat a cucumber this week. It tasted like, man, what? Hold up, bro. I'm going to give you my cucumber recipe. You cut the cucumber up. You put it in a bowl. You take whatever type of seasonings you like. I like some garlic salt. I put some cayenne pepper on it. And I put some black pepper and some turmeric. And then do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And then you put some olive oil on it. Or you could put some olive oil on it first because olive oil is going to trap the seasonings on it. So olive oil and honey, and then you season it, and then shake it up and season it again, okay? And then you eat it. I don't know how that's going to taste like poison to you. You ain't do it right. You got to hook it up. You got to get creative. The way that you prepare a steak, you know, you come at the cucumbers like that. You ate it raw. Hey, you got to fix your taste buds because I can eat cucumbers raw and I'm straight. The thing about Esau is he has artificially manipulated, modified our taste buds to like fake shit. So when you eat real stuff, it tastes nasty to you. When you eat stuff that has life in it, it tastes nasty to you. But that's because we ate so much stuff that's fake. And I felt that 6 years ago when I went vegetarian for a while. And I had to, salad used to be super nasty. But now I can eat salad with no dressing. Or I just put a little bit of olive oil on it. Right? Like, because my taste buds have been reformed. My taste buds have transformed. All right? Yeah, look, the brother throwing you. He said, I make Asian cucumber salad, rice wine. I got some rice wine vinegar, yup. Olive oil, soy sauce, lime with red onion and carrots. That sound fire. I ain't gonna lie, that sound fire, man. That sound fire right there. But what you gotta do, bro, is Yahawah, you gotta fix your taste buds. And that's gonna be through training your body. Let's get this scripture real quick. All right. We can't be down here letting our bodies beat our ass. This is where is it at, man? 1 Corinthians 9:27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So we got to bring our bodies under subjection, the same way that Paul was doing. I mean, we're training our bodies. You're training this body. All right? And that goes furthermore into training your taste buds. The way you think, hey, it's just this truth. I know the scriptures. No, you got to go deeper than that. You got to, because health, your insides trickle outside. Okay? If you toxic on the inside, you're going to be toxic on the outside. That's why, hey, a female can look good on the outside, but on the inside, she a bitch. She's a liar. She's evil. She's wicked. She's toxic. She's full of darkness. You understand? And that's eventually going to trickle out, and you're going to feel that. She can fool you for the first week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but it's ultimately going to show. So back to cilantro. It supports everyday wellness by reducing inflammation. It's pulling. A lot of us have fires going on in our bodies. That's inflammation. Inflammation turns into what? Arthritis, all right? Diabetes, okay? Joint pains, knee pain, all of this. All right? You women on y'all P's, that's what? Inflammation. So you need to try to prevent all that pain by eating correctly and properly when you know that thing is about to come. And furthermore, before that, so that you won't have as much pain. So cilantro reduces inflammation, promoting heart health, aiding digestion, and assisting the body's natural detoxification process. What's point 1? What did we say? Detox. You do eat to cleanse out. So what is a thing that you can eat on detoxing? You can eat cilantro. You can eat spinach because it's going to help to detox. It's going to help to cleanse out. Salaki. It's going to help to cleanse out your body. Okay? So on a detox, you do eat. On a fast, no eating, no drinking. All right. And, it's rich in all that other stuff. I'll read a little bit of this. Natural antimicrobial. It compounds like dodecanol and cilantro may help your body fight off foodborne illnesses and bacteria. Okay. So immune system, pretty much. Natural detoxifier. Herbalists and researchers frequently point to cilantro's ability to what? To bind to heavy metals. What did I say, Yahawah? I said it pulls. I said it comes through and it attaches itself to stuff that's bad in your body and your bloodstream, and it pulls it out. It binds itself to heavy metals like lead and mercury. What was in that CVAC? What's in the HVAC? What's in these magazines? Heavy metals. What should you be eating if you took it? Cilantro. All right? Greens. But people that took it, you know, the majority, you know, it's certain cases. All right? Like the brother Kakuma. You know what I'm saying? It's certain cases, exempts. All right? But a lot of people that took it, they don't have no control over their flesh in the first place, man. So they're not gonna turn around overnight and just eat fruits and vegetables. No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna continue in these fast food diets that they love. Okay? So you want to get this lead and mercury out of your body, helping the body flush them out safely. All right? So once again, you eat the vegetables first, like cilantro, spinach, celery. Celery, man. Hey, you got a juicer. Celery only costs like $2, bro. You can go buy celery. You can put it in a blender. You put it in a juicer. You could drink celery juice. Now, does it taste good? No. All right. Or you can mix it up with something that you think tastes. Mix it with some oranges or something. Right? To help flush the body up out. All right. Now, let's get back to Dr. Bobby Price.
We're aging prematurely. Okay, so I'm eating a cleansing lifestyle. I'm also detoxing consistently to remove waste. And the reason why that's so important, detoxing, again, check out that video that I talked about before. But herbs are made to remove heavy metals, mucus, waste, and other toxins from the body. Eating a clean diet won't necessarily remove the type of toxins that we're seeing in our food supply today. Okay, so the regular clean diet isn't always enough. This is what herbs were made for. And I always explain this to people.
Let's get that. All right. What's that? That's Sirach 38. No? That's what herbs was made for. That's the spirit. So it's Sirach 38, verse 4. Yahawah have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So these herbs, man, you know, Salakia, you know, you all good. You gon', you know, you got it, man. You got the spirit, bro. You got the spirit. All right. So inside, Yahawah have created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So these herbs, you know, soursop, the bitters. Okay, take advantage of these things while you have the chance. Take advantage of this stuff. Because Esau wants to feed you bugs. He wants to feed you roaches. So take advantage. Okay, you got dandelions growing in your front yard. Take advantage of that. Take them in, clean them off. Make dandelion tea. All right, that's major. That's one of the best teas you could drink. You know? Think about how Gad was living. Okay? I've been pushing this a lot. Go watch Sitting Bull, the documentary on Netflix, man. Nobody was selling bottled water. You understand? Nobody was selling bottled water. You didn't have Dasani, Aquafina, Fiji water. You didn't have all that bullshit. You had what you call a river. You had what you call a river. You understand? Gad used to go to the river and just get the water right up out the river, right up out the stream. Okay? Because the earth was not polluted or defiled. You know? You had fruits, vegetables growing on trees. America, North America, South America, Central America, they would have been oasis. They would have been paradise. This place would have been paradise, bro. Okay? Yeah, the brother said it's illegal to collect rainwater. Yes, it is. You know? So Gad was over here living in a paradise. You had all the buffalo, and buffalo is like, man, it's the best meat you can eat. All right? It's up there. So you had all this buffalo, and they was eating it in a balance. They're not killing all the buffalo. It was more than enough. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has created for us more than enough. Far more than enough, man. Everybody, you producing kids and you don't care because you know you got enough to provide and take care of them, man. You know? So, hey, let's keep it going.
Different types of foods have different types of purposes when it comes to nourishing our body. So when you eat green leafy vegetables are very high in magnesium, potassium, and they also have a lot of chlorophyll, which deodorizes the body, okay? Fruits of...
Booyah. And that's going into him not wearing deodorant, right? Hey, next time you do a fast, I challenge you to do this. Don't wear deodorant and watch how your body smells. Bruh, all that meat, all that shit is going to be running out of your body, man. You're going to smell yourself. Okay? But as you improve on your diet and you eat less meat, you eat less starch, you eat less sugars, less dairy, then the smell will get better. And that's how your armpits, when you don't use deodorant, when you're not trapping the toxins inside of your body, because that's what deodorant is doing. It's stopping your sweat glands. That's why you have anti-sweat. Nigga, that's death. You're supposed to sweat. If you're not sweating, then all them toxins are backing up and you're going to have hella bumps because the waste is being trapped in your body now. So you're supposed to sweat. So the more your armpits, wherever you sweating, it's going to tell on you if you've been eating correctly or not, based upon the smell, right? We live balanced lives. We didn't overeat. So we didn't really stink, you know? Now, Edomites, they stink. They smell like dog. All right, let's keep it going.
Cleansing to the body, so they hydrate the body. Remember, water is what is cleansing, okay? When we sweat, we're eliminating that way, okay? In nature, when it rains down, it cleanses the earth, okay? The more rain, let's say a road is dusty, you rain, and all of a sudden you come back, that road is clean now, okay? So fruits have a high amount of what I call structured water, and that structured water will cleanse the body, along with the nutrients that is in it. Herbs, in this case, herbs are made to heal the body. They pull out toxicity. Okay, they also put a lot of nourishment in the body as well too, and so they are capable of pulling out the heavy metals, pulling out the mucus, pulling out the waste from the body that is accumulating, especially in the gut area. Okay, so different foods have different purposes, and the most important thing to the question that he asked me is, I live a cleansing lifestyle where I'm constantly not only preventing waste from coming in, but I'm cleaning it out, but I'm also detoxing. You know, like an oil change every 3 to 4 months. And because of that, this is why my body is so clean. And so I don't get the odor for not, wearing the deodorant. And trust me, like, this was never a goal. I think what happened was, I just so happened to run out of deodorant and I couldn't find the particular brand that I was using. And so I went about a week without the deodorant, and I was noticing when I was at the gym, I wasn't smelling anything. And so I started to test the theory for a week, then 2 weeks, and then a month. And then I noticed that I didn't have the body odor. And then I was also checking, like having my friends like, hey, you smell this? Does it smell bad? That kind of thing too. So after that, that's why I stopped wearing deodorant. It was never a goal. Okay, so that's
the first modern commercial deodorant, called Mum, was invented and patented in Philadelphia in 1888. All right. All right. Look at this. While ancient civilizations used oils and perfumes to mask odors, an early antiperspirants targeting sweat emerged in the early 1900s. We didn't do this. Edomites did this shit when they was in they're ruling in their kingdom. Okay? So they're targeting sweat glands. We knew we needed to sweat. What did our women bathe? Even going back to the Persians. Look at the Persians. What did they have their women do? Bathed in oils. Okay? Using oils to cleanse out. Going into a bath. Do you know that your bath is extremely important? All right? To lower cortisone levels, that stress. To pull out the body. Bro. Man, the elders at camp been pushing borax, baking soda, things of that nature. You know? That's why, hey, man, if you ain't around a camp, you know what I'm saying, you need to try to at least make it to camp. Because far more than what you see on the camera is after camp, talking and speaking, and brothers be sharing health knowledge and these type of things. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to be around a camp, to be around the brotherhood. You know, we do what we can on here, but I encourage brothers to, if you can, make that drive, regardless. Be an hour away, hour and 30 minutes, whatever. Make it. You know what I'm saying? If you have the funds to do so. So, going back to the bath, you can use baking soda. You can use, I put olive oil in my bath. It helps to pull out Epsom salt, magnesium flakes. These type of things, you can get them at Walmart. Okay? It helps to pull out. We are magnesium. We are full of electricity. Right? That's why the brother in the cough said coconut water. What is on the back of coconut? The proper coconut, the real coconut water, it has magnesium, potassium in it. So it's filling you up with electricity. All right? Electricity brings life. We are electric beings. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand that? That's why they got this show Black Lightning. Yo, that's Jake. We're full of electricity, man. All right? So you got to get that magnesium in you, man. Watermelons, full of magnesium. Melons. I've been saying melons all live. They're full of magnesium. Okay? The brother said, protects against infection. Sweat contains antimicrobial peptides that help fight off bacteria and fungi on the skin surface. Exactly. Now, hey, furthermore, into that, what do you have under your armpits, men? You got hair. What does hair do in your private area and on your head and on your armpits? Hair fights against infections and bacteria. Okay? You should not be shaving your hair like that, bro. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi created you with hair to fight off infections. Do you know that we have more hair than gorillas? The human body. You can't see it, but all these little pores, that's hair. All of that is little hair, man. Okay? All of that is hair. We have more hair follicles on our body than gorillas and monkeys and chimpanzees and all of them. This helps fight infection, but you need a CVAC. You need a HVAC. Get the hell out of here. We sweat, don't we? You can sweat diseases. And boy, I remember I was 19 in the military. This brother from Texas told me that. He told me, hey, he was wearing full jumpsuit trying to sweat shit out, you know? And he was like 24, 25. He knew a little bit more about life than me. And he was like, man, you could sweat anything out. That's when I learned back then. You could sweat anything out, man. You know? So you need to sweat. You need to move. You need to stay active. All right? The brother said, Khan, if you notice, majority of Black Hills power is electricity. I remember Static Shock. Yeah, Black Lightning, Static Shock. Storm with the electricity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got a lot. But hey, let's get back into it. About to wrap it up.
That's why, that's how I answered the question to Bill Bellamy on the show. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is antiperspirant deodorant. And this is a very important conversation. The reason why it's so important is because the type of deodorant that many people are actually wearing is actually not very helpful to the process of eliminating waste. Let me explain why. Our bodies have what's called a lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system is composed of lymphatic vessels and lymph nodes, okay? The lymph nodes are located in the folds of our bodies, okay? In the groin area, fold. Behind the knee, fold. In the abdomen area, we fold. Under the neck, we fold. Under the arms, we fold. That's where the lymph nodes are. The lymph nodes are like toilet stools, okay? You put waste in it and then you flush it out, okay? Now, how do we flush it out? When we sweat, okay? So when you think about the area of the body that we sweat the most, is quite often in the folds of the body. We sweat under our arms, behind our knees, in our groin. You know, these are the areas that we sweat the most, and we're sweating the most there because that's the area we eliminate waste because of these, lymphatic toilet stools that we call the lymph nodes, okay? Now, if you ever had like a swollen lymph node, that is an indication that lymph node is not only eliminating waste, but it's also fighting waste. Let me give you an example. Our lymphatic system, compared to our circulatory system, our blood circulatory system, 80% of the fluid volume in our bodies is actually not in the blood circulation, it is in the lymphatic system, okay? So most people think, the vast majority of the volume of liquid in our body is blood. No, it's actually lymphatic fluid, okay? That's really important. And the reason why that's so important is because, we don't know what the lymphatic system does, okay? And let me give you a few things that the lymphatic system does, all right? One of the most important things that it does is collect waste, as I mentioned before, but what I didn't talk about was the different types of waste that it collects. It also collects viruses, bacteria, and even cancer, okay? Most people don't understand. Most of us in our lifetime have had cancer in our bodies, even though we probably haven't been diagnosed with it. And the reason why you don't know it is because your immune system stomped out the cancer before it actually matriculated into cancer itself or forming a tumor. Okay, so our immune system actually is the first line to fighting off cancer. That's really important. And why that's really important is because that shows you how important it is that we do things to make sure our immune system is strong. But also why that's really important is because the lymphatic system is collecting those cancerous cells that have been killed off by the immune system, and is collecting it so that these cancerous cells can be eliminated from the body, okay? And how are they eliminated from the body? They go to the folds of the body where the lymphatic toilet stools are, aka the lymph nodes are, to be eliminated from the body. Now, here's why deodorant could be toxic to that process. Because most people's deodorant contain aluminum, which is a heavy metal, which in and of itself is not healthy to the body. Because the heavy metal aluminum not only can cause issues with the nervous system, but also the heavy metal can mimic certain hormones in the body, okay, and confuse the endocrine system. But most importantly, heavy metals like aluminum have been linked to dementia as well too. And we're seeing so many people who have early stages of dementia. Okay, so that's the first thing that is in deodorant that is very toxic. And that aluminum is what actually causes the antiperspiration, meaning it prevents you from sweating. Okay? So remember what I said before. The whole purpose of the folds of our body is to eliminate waste, okay? Because that's where the lymph nodes are located, right? All right, so now you're wearing this antiperspirant using the aluminum to block the sweating pores, and now the waste stays in, okay? Now the waste is tucked in and accumulating in the lymph nodes, okay? I'm gonna tell you why that's dangerous in just a second. But the other thing that is really dangerous in most deodorants, and I find them in most conventional deodorants, is parabens. Parabens are endocrine disruptors, okay? What that means is they disrupt the endocrine system, which produces most of the hormones that we have in our bodies, namely estrogen. This particular endocrine disruptor, parabens, they cause an increase or a spike in estrogen in the body, and these are fake synthetic estrogens. Here's why that's so important. Because at the end of the day, one of the leading forms of cancer is breast cancer. Okay, it's one of the leading forms and most dangerous forms of cancer for a lot of women. Okay, now let me connect that all back to the lymphatic system, okay, and deodorant, and you'll see we'll come full circle. Well, as I said before, when you look under the arms, there are lymph nodes in here, like the little toilet stools under our arms. Those lymph nodes are attached to these lymphatic vessels, okay, that go to the breast tissue. All right, so now you're blocking the lymph nodes, the toilet stools, from eliminating waste, so that waste is accumulating, right? Remember what I said. It's not only toxins that are being eliminated, waste that is being eliminated, but bacteria, viruses, and even cancer that has been stomped out in other areas of the body is also being eliminated through the lymphatic system as well.
All right, I'm going to end it right there. But the point being is you're seeing that when you don't sweat, and when you're using all these type of things that Esau, he created deodorant in 1888, okay? And he started giving it out massively to people. To what? To block their sweating, to block their ability to push out toxins, okay? That's a wow. That's a WILES, the wiles of the devil. A tactic, a strategy to kill you. And he markets to you like, oh, you need to do this so you won't stink. But then why do you stink? This is the thing about our people. You never go into the origins of these issues. Okay? Yeah, don't be a fool. Don't be fooled by aluminum-free deodorant. Don't be fooled by this damn vegan food. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So you got to go into the origins of why you stink. And why you stink is because you eat a stinky ass diet. If all you eating is meat, starch, dairy, and sugar, all that's gonna stink. It's gonna ultimately, all you eat is dead flesh. That's all you eat is dead flesh. There's nothing wrong with eating steak. All right, there's nothing wrong with eating chicken. There's nothing wrong with eating turkey. Okay? But don't do it every single day, bro. I promise you. You back off of all of that. You limit yourself. You have a balance. Then your mood, your body, everything is gonna get better. And you exercise. Proverbs 20 and 23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto Yahawah, and a false balance is not good. Okay? So you need to have a balance. Everything he just described to you with the deodorant messing up your endocrine system, those heavy metals is messing with your hormones, and they're making your hormones think different things. Your son or your daughter, I don't care what you're doing. You may be teaching them the truth and all of this, but they deodorant could lead them to thinking they're gay. To lead them to thinking that a man should like a man or a woman should like a woman. That's why this truth teaches us more than just the scriptures. Okay? We know how to take care of our bodies now. Yeah, we got all that we got all Ecclesiasticus, but that's the right spirit. We went through 37, we went through 38 a little bit. So yeah. So you got to go further than just reading the scriptures, and you got to know now to apply this wisdom. You got to be moving. How was the prophets moving of old? Was they just eating crazy? No, man. They had a balance. Are you applying the scriptures to your life? Right? I'm going to get that from the brother. Romans 15 and 4. And it reads, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So it's for your learning how to deal with these situations. Why did John the Baptist eat locusts and honey? And that sustained him. Why did Elijah do a similar feat? That's the same spirit, same soul, but it sustained. They didn't have to eat all of this. You can make it. The elder brought this out at camp, man. You can make it just off of water and maple syrup. Maple syrup has all the nutrients in it that you need. Okay? And I'm talking about maple syrup you get it out of the glass, like the good bottle. You know, not the shit that's full of sugar. But you don't need too much to eat. You don't need that much. Esau has convinced you that you need 3 meals a day. You need this and that and this and that. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the lesson, hey, I eat once a day most of the time, maybe twice. And when I do eat, I'm gonna have I might have some meat and I might have 3 sides or 2 sides. You know, I'm gonna have a diverse meal. If I want a snack, I might eat some nuts, some cashews, whatever, you know. I'm going to be purposeful in what I'm putting in my body. Some seaweed, okay. Last night I was snacking on some spicy guacamole, all right, with some chips, some dipping in it. And guacamole is good for what? That's avocado. That's good for the brain. So I'm thinking about what I'm putting in my body before I put it in there. I'm thinking about my movements. I'm being purposeful. Now to help you get to that point, because I couldn't be like that a couple years ago, I had to what? I had to kick these damn parasites up out of my body. And I have to constantly kick parasites up out of your body. You got to constantly kick them out. Every 3 to 4 months, as he said, he does a detox. You got to fast. You know, we are put in chains of darkness. We are put in a fight. That's what you're in right now. You're in a fight. And this is every single day. And you got to make the right decisions. Ultimately to be up into that chariot, man, to get beamed up. Right? So, hey, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up right there. I pray this was edifying. Any questions on anything pertaining to anything health-wise, Bible-wise, you know, ask them right now. Or, you know, wait till the next Health Live. Which I try to do one. At least this is a Health Live. All right? We ain't doing Jew nor Greek. You know. The brother said D-limonene for parasites. All right. Look that up. D-limonene. D-limonene is a naturally occurring terpene extracted from citrus fruits, rinds, especially oranges, renowned for its strong, fresh citrus aroma. It is widely used as a biodegradable solvent, a natural degreaser, a flavoring agent in foods and cosmetics, and an active ingredient in botanical insecticides. All right. I guess getting it in an edible form. Yep, cloves, black walnut, ground cloves for parasites. It's you could do it's a recipe. Cinnamon. You could take banana peels. Matter of fact, I was making some points. All right, and we'll just continue them when I come back. But I'll write this down. This is a good recipe. So you could take banana peels. You could cut them up. You could take some cloves. All right, and you could take cinnamon. And you can boil them. All right, boil in a pot and make tea. And that right there fight parasites in your body. Banana peels, chop them up, some cloves, and some cinnamon. Boil, drink as a tea. You know. All right. Brother said mushroom coffee. Yup. The mushroom elixirs I be drinking. Them joints is solid. All right. What else? Try that. Kind. All right, so I don't see no questions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get up out of here. Hey, the water for everybody stopping through. And the water for all the precepts and all the input. All right. Facing the east, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone once again. Shalawam, Shalawam, Kwam Yasharahla, and a Baba Bar. Shalawam, Shalawam.